Hello and welcome to the Irish Arsenal Gunner podcast. It's Sunday, the 6th of November. Bit of a change for us coming straight after the match today. We got our recording sorted out, lads, so thank God on Eamon's end this time. I'm your host, as always, Jonathan Giles. I'm joined by my regular guests at this stage, Eamon Donnelly, Carl Osborne, and John Mealy. How are you, lads?
Great. Good evening.
And good evening, Jonathan. I had to skip even the master. The share collection was on. I'll have to put in the envelope. Send it to the post there.
Thanks for coming on, lads, tonight. After our 1-0 away success to Chelsea today. You can catch our show, as always, on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel. And follow us on Instagram, where Martin will add content daily there. Thanks to our sponsor, also clubgolf.co.uk. Use DubArsenal10 for a 10% discount at the checkout. They've got a range of retro gear there, including the Blues Banana, one from ourselves. You can catch all the matches throughout the season in the official supporters pub, the River Bar in Dublin City Centre, where Eamon and John are always at, and all the gang. On to last week's stats. We had 60 views, 6 likes, and we're up to 2,660 subscribers. So going really well between the two shows. Also check out Martin's the sister to ours, Beyond the Last Man. There's 3 episodes and counting, and he'll be back on Tuesday again as well. So definitely well worth a listen with Brendan Boyle and Ian Gunry are his guests there weekly. Last week's quick question, lads. Which Brazilian fullback scored a screamer at the Bridge in 99 to 2000? The answer was?
Silvinho.
Indeed it was. You got a passport for that as well. On this week's show, we will be reviewing our 1-0 away success over Chelsea, and also previewing our last fixture away to Wolves next Saturday at 7:45 on Sky Sports before the World Cup break comes up. And we'll also be doing our October Goal of the Month. So I hope you all have good selections there, lads. So we go on to today, of course, 1-0 at the Bridge. Gabriel got the winner for us. It was Mikel Arteta's 150 game in charge, and that was his 88th victory. Better than Arsene Wenger's start to his managerial career, so it leaves his force with 34 points, so not too bad. I'll go to Eamon. What did you make of the victory today, Eamon?
I think Chelsea missed Chopper Hardis and Peter Osgood there. No, look, I'll tell you what I thought. The first thing that struck me is that Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka as a midfield combination are irreplaceable. That's the first thing. Yeah. Because we absolutely controlled that game. Controlled it, right? And I happened to be at the Europa League game the other night when neither of them played, and everything was different, you know. Yeah. They are 2 men at the very, very top of their game at the moment. It just shows you how far we've come. When I was thinking to myself with 5 minutes ago, you know, having controlled the game the way we did, if we were to only come away with a point the way at Stamford Bridge, we would have been gutted. And that used to be a graveyard for us. Think of the times we used to get pushed around up there, and it was all, you know, Arsenal are too nice and all that type of thing. We controlled that game. We bossed it. The team looked right. The team looked way ahead of where Chelsea are in terms of knowing what we wanted to do. Right? Okay, it wasn't great in the final third a lot of the time, but you just got the feeling that we were able to get up to the final third so much that something was going to happen, something was going to give. Gabriel Jesus should have scored in the first half from one of those situations. I just think it was a game. If you look at the stats in the game, we 3 times as many chances, efforts as they did in their place. And I have to be honest with you. I mean, most of the naysayers would have been looking at Chelsea at the start of the season and saying, "Oh God, we'd be 7 or 8 points behind them." You know, and if you look at the gaps that we've opened up, so if you kind of say after we play Wolves, you get a chance to draw a breath and say, okay, that gets put in a box now. The gaps that we've opened up on a lot of the teams, particularly after today's result and the way other results went, it was a really, really big day. I just think it's vindication of Edu. I think it's vindication of the manager. And I think it's vindication of the owners for being on the same page. And, for being on the same page and connecting all the dots. And this is not kind of me beating my chest. I just think that we have a surge of momentum now all around the club, right? And I think, that kind of energy has given us, 34 points?
Yeah.
So it's not going to continue. It's not going to continue like that. It can't. Sure, that's more than the Invincibles were doing, and we're certainly not at that level. But if you just look at what the money that we spent on Ben White, and you look at how he has been converted into a right fullback, the best right fullback in England, in my view. And I looked at Alexander Arnold in the last game, although you're only allowed to call him Trent. I don't know why they don't call Oxlade-Chamberlain Alex. It's a double standard. And you know what I say about double standards on this show. We don't like them. But Ben White is now the best right fullback in England. And I just think it was great today. The last point I want to make, two more points. I never liked Aubameyang as an out-and-out centre forward, even when he was great for us. He can't lead the line. He doesn't have the football in him. He's a goal scorer, but he tends to do it coming in from wide positions. And he was isolated today. And Arsenal sniffed that out. And they sniffed out the supply. They stopped the supply to Mason Mount. And Mason Mount is the creator in chief. So it was a really good tactical effort. And there was no Spider-Man outfits to get into or anything like that. So the last thing I want to say is how did Bukayo Saka get a yellow card? I mean, that other, I don't know, the Turkish drug dealer, whatever his name is, like the guy that came from Brighton with the kind of
Cucurella.
The guys and dolls hairstyle from the 1970s. Him, Cucurella, yeah, him.
Yeah.
Like, he's hacking him all day. He's taking him blatantly out on the sideline.
Yeah.
Saka gets frustrated. He puts in a foot into the back of his foot, and he walks away with a yellow card. What's that telling you about the game? And all joking aside, that one is genuinely so frustrating.
Yes,
genuinely is. But that's 2 yellow cards he's picked up now in recent games, where you say you could come to a crucial game later on the season, and he's shipping out a 1-match ban.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, to be honest as well, and Chalobah, do you remember late in the second half where he done Jesus? I thought that would deserve it of a second yellow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a good day for us. Good day. We played well. We controlled the game.
Yeah. At times, you nearly thought we were the home side at the bridge today. We controlled the game really from start to finish. Ramsdale had very little to do, and it was definitely. I did say last Tuesday that we will get a victory there, but I didn't think as close as that. But
10 out 12 points under Arteta at the bridge.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And I call him a rookie manager. I'm eating my words week on week, I tell you. Ozzy, what did you make of the game yourself? A good victory at the bridge.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Say we look like the home team. I did think that a number of occasions throughout our 90 minutes that we did feel like the home team there. It's another statement. It's another test. It's another statement that we've put down there to say we're here. We're fighting for this. And I do think we're in the title race. I think I can actually finally say it. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but it's another statement. It's another test, and we've passed it.
Yeah.
I think the back four today were absolutely fantastic. Eamon said, not even giving Aubameyang a sniff. It's not, they were brilliant. Saliba and Gabriel, great partnership they've got going. And we've watched that grow all season. I think it's been brilliant. I thought, Zinchenko, he had a few moments in that game, but he going forward, he does he helps with that transition from defence to attack. John and Eamon said it last week. That midfield, Xhaka and Partey, they dominated that midfield. Absolutely amazing. And you know, that's where the game for me was won today. They just dominated the centre of the pitch. Going back to defence, for me, Ben White, what's the guy got to do to get man of the match? For me, he was outstanding today. Absolutely outstanding. The battle with him and Mason Mount was something quite amazing to watch. That first 20 minutes, he dominated him. Cracking bit of shithousery as well when he got up and while Mason Mount was kind of mounting him, pardon the pun, but there was a moment there where he nearly knocked him over, and you could see the smirk on his face. He knew exactly what he was doing. Ben White for me. I've said for the last few weeks about how well he's played, but honestly, today I thought he was fantastic and didn't really get the credit again for what he done. Everyone's talking about Saliba, and don't get me wrong, Saliba and Xhaka I think were also up there for player of the match, but no, Ben White for me was absolutely fascinating. And Gabriel Jesus, I know he didn't score. Yeah. We say about he can't buy a goal at the moment, the lad, but he's causing so much havoc everywhere else. And that's how your striker is out of form scoring goals. If you can't score goals, he's just causing havoc everywhere else. And that's that's worth it alone. And he was brilliant today. I thought when you looked at the state of him when he came off that pitch, he was covered in mud. He'd literally 110%. He reminded me of a sort of Sunday footballer, just a rag around the pitch. But no, brilliant from him as well. So yeah, the only thing I will say is I'm not going to put a negative out there because we shouldn't have a negative because it's been a great day. But just Odegaard's form, it's starting to not worry me, but his big games, he has those little touches. He does those nice sort of touches in again. But I think he needs to start stepping up a little bit. And there's a question I put out to everyone really. I don't know if he's affected by the leadership that Xhaka is showing. I think that's got to be playing on his mind out there. But yeah. Other than that, fantastic performance. We can't have we don't talk about negatives today. I thought it was brilliant. What a statement we made. And I wish I'd been a bit more positive in my predictions last week because I went for a draw.
It wasn't the best of games. It wasn't the best of London derbies, but those type of 1-0s are always more satisfying, aren't they? Especially when you reach the summit again after City winning yesterday. John, I know you were in the River Bar for it today, weren't you? What did you make of the match?
Well, I agree with everything the boys have just said. We did control the game. We were the better side. Graham Potter came out afterwards and in fairness put his hands up and said Arsenal totally deserved to win. I said on Tuesday night I wasn't afraid going into this game, which I haven't always said over the last 10 or 12 years going to Stamford Bridge. I was looking forward to this game. I was surprised at the pace of the game. I thought it was quite slow. I expected the game to get a little bit more helter-skelter, a little bit more end-to-end. But we got on top possession-wise, I think, quite early, and it just wasn't working out in the final ball. The final third just wasn't working out. I was surprised Zinchenko started the game purely because he hasn't played. I would have liked to seen him maybe get 30 minutes somewhere or maybe play for an under-23 game just to get something into his legs. But he looked a little bit off the ball. He got into some great positions. He definitely get their defence something to think about every time he got forward, but I don't think his passing was right where we wanted it. But he can say that right across the front line. Eamon's right about Saka. I have no idea what the hell's going on in England at the moment with referees. It's shocking what they're letting away with defenders away with at the moment. And he's getting punished for the slightest infraction. It's like they decided, he missed that penalty, let's get even with him. It's just ridiculous at the moment. I mean, I seen a stat before the game. Officially, he's only been fouled 17 times this season. I have no idea who the hell is watching these games and who's refereeing these games.
Yeah.
He's been refereed 17. He's been fouled 17 times a game, for Christ's sakes. If you actually watch the game. That lad needs protection. He's a young lad, top of his game. He needs protected. It's shocking what he's having to put up with. It was great to see Arsenal go in there and actually, as Eamon said, we controlled it. We managed the game. We managed the game. If I'm disappointed with anything, the number of corners we had, for the first time in a long time, the delivery wasn't great. And then you see the goal, you said maybe they were working on corners like that. Hit them in low and hard at near post and see what happened. As I said afterwards, you can't be a good training ground move. You just can't. But I thought the deliveries from corners was really poor throughout the game. Surprising because it's been quite good all season. It was just a case of would we get the goal. I always felt, from the start of the second half, the case, would we get the goal? And we got it. And then from then on, we managed the game. They never really looked like they were going to lay a glove on us. And it's not often you go to Stamford Bridge and say that. So I think it's a big statement to go away from home to another top four side. How many times over the last 6 or 7 years have been told we can't win away? We can't win against these clubs. We went in and did it quite comfortably, I thought. I don't know it's only 1-0.
Yeah.
When you look at the quality of the play during the game, it was a quite comfortable 1-0 win. Once we got the goal, that was it. Game over. Because they couldn't lay a glove on it. All the players that they've mentioned so far, that back four, that back three in particular, the Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, I spoke about him last week. He's outstanding this season. I really thought at the start of the season, okay, he'll play right back, and then Tommy Asso will come in, get his right back spot, and then it'll be down to Ben White and Saliba for centre half. Ben White's just got better and better. All week he's just gotten better. Every week he just seems to step up, and he's been outstanding. And if he doesn't make the England squad for that World Cup, there's something seriously wrong with Gareth Southgate. He needs to be brought outside and beaten with a baseball bat. Absolutely ridiculous. Thomas Partey, we've known that can do what he's doing. We've known he even comes close. On his own, basically in midfield, because he's given Xhaka license to go forward. And when he's in that kind of form, he's absolutely outstanding. And Chelsea couldn't get near him. They couldn't compete with him. He was brilliant. The forward line, as he said, Jesus. This is something we didn't have last season. Lacazette might have had the odd good game, linking up play, but he never got anywhere close to chances. Jesus is getting chances. It's only a matter of time before they start putting them away. And the rest of his game is phenomenal. I felt a little bit sorry for Thiago Silva. I really did. He's 38 years of age and he's been asked to mark Jesus in that kind of form. He'll be on crutches until Wednesday. He won't be able to walk. He ran him ragged all through the game. Now, I have to be honest, 38-year-old, he put in a decent performance, but he's going to know all about it later on. Those legs ain't going to be sore, boy. I'm telling you now.
His Achilles are gone.
Absolutely. And it was great to see the fans in the club and the players all celebrating at the end of the game. That's a really terrific 1-0 win away from home. So,
but John, just on the point you make about Thiago Silva, and we spoke about this on the show last week.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to put serious athleticism up on him.
Yeah.
And it almost looked as if Jesus, his task all day was to keep running him ragged, and he did.
On that note, Eamon, if you notice in the first half, Martinelli and Jesus were switching.
Yeah,
constant. Because what I think when Jesus was tired, he was going out to the wings, and Martinelli was running him.
Never gave him a minute rest. Good spot, Ozzy. So great 1-0 win away from home. 1-0 to the Arsenal. You can't beat it. Long may it continue. Maybe we'll get some refereeing decisions like City did yesterday. Oh my God, that'll be something else you can bring up. The standard of refereeing in England really needs to be looked at. Really does.
Yeah, it is pretty shocking. Some of the tackles that went in today. There's a few tasty ones, wasn't there, that went in over the day.
It's a physical game. I don't mind. You don't mind as long as the referee down and books what needs to be booked.
All the time.
Sometimes you're giving yellow cards and you're saying, was that even a foul?
Yeah,
there's very little consistency in it. Yeah, there's very little consistency.
I just like to.
That Cucurella or whatever his name is.
Cucurella.
Cucurella. If that handball that was kind of outside the box was Ben White or somebody like that, There would have been
Would
a
have been a
virtual
penalty.
hand would have come up on VAR.
Yeah.
and inside the box.
Yeah,
You know,
100%, Damon. Yeah,
would have been a fingernail, kind of a, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands. You know, woo, penalty against the Arsenal. You know, yeah.
I'd like to bring up Cucurella's mullet there for a second, because as he said over the game, there, if we get that sponsor from the Turkish hair transplant company, this is the look I'll go for.
I'm going for a Cucurella, mate. I'll tell you, I'll get me money's worth if I'm going to go to Turkey, mate.
You've made John and Eamon very jealous with that comment, Ozzy. What they do for the hair side like that. They're even
Get rid of it.
jealous.
While we're talking about refereeing, actually, I'll tell you what impressed me today. Granit Xhaka's patience, because I thought he was going to get a red towards that end, and he just rode it out, didn't he? Did he not keep his calm in that last?
Can you see that's it? He's playing with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Even with that little argy-bargy there in front of the Arsenal fans, he had a smile on his face.
Yeah,
He's not, he's not losing the plot the way he used to. He's more zen. He's in our Buddhist just coming out. He's playing with a smile on his face. He still has that aggression. He's still not afraid to put it about. But there's a smile on his face, and he's not losing the head anymore.
I don't think you need to be smiling, John. I think you need to be kicking the ball.
It's great to see.
Smiling on the pitch, John.
Yeah.
I really like that starting at 11, though, lads. It's a really strong 11, isn't it? Week in, week out. You can see it's getting like the Invincibles now. You know, it's a really strong 11, and they're playing with a smile on their faces, and we're getting unexpected results now. Really, you know, over seasons gone.
I don't even know if that's unexpected.
We went up there. Whatever about us as kind of as Bill O'Hurley would say, all right, amateur pundits, right? Whatever about us as amateur pundits live. The team didn't look as if they expected to lose the game. The team went up there to win the game and played accordingly, like, you know. Yeah. I
was really surprised at how bad Chelsea were actually being in London, you know, because they're normally they're up for games like that. It was a very strange it's just a surreal atmosphere, wasn't it today?
A crap.
You know, yeah, I think Potter's a lot of work there, hasn't he?
No,
yeah.
I don't. That team wasn't built by him. I have, you know, the likes of Simon. We spoke about him. He's not the player he was. There's a lot of work to be done there. There's an awful lot of work to be done. He's a good coach. The new owner will spend a hell of a lot of money, but will he spend it the right way? We've said
John, I was actually standing in the concourse at half time the other night, right? Yeah. And they have this newish kind of mural up to all of the managers of the Arsenal,
right?
Since the club was founded, and I started at I think it was 2 before Herbert Chapman, and I counted them. Actually, Chelsea have had more managers since Abramovich took over than we've had since the 1930s. Yeah. So what do you expect?
Yeah,
they're a rabble of an outfit, absolute rabble of an outfit. I know they got their success and all, and all of that type of stuff. But Graham Potter's come in there now, so the choices that he has, he needs to burn that house down. But would he be given time? Would he be given time to do that?
That's the big question.
You don't know with the new owners. You don't know. But under the previous regime, he wouldn't have been. He'd have been gone.
It's like Ten Hag is a similar job to do with United. He needs to burn that house down and rebuild it. He said Arteta needed time to do what he had to do. He was given the time. That's where, as you said earlier on, Eamon, in a long time, everybody in Arsenal seems to be pulling in the right direction. The owners have seen what needs to be done. They found a coach they believe in. They found someone in Edu who can walk with the coach. The fans are looking at it and saying, yeah, I'm buying into this. Everybody in the club is heading in the right direction. There's no dissension in the clan. You know, there's no board going one way, the manager wanting to go the other, the players wanting to go somewhere else. And that's taking time. A little bit of pain, a little bit of effort. But we seem to be pulling in the right direction and we're on the right track. And
it reminds me, John, and Carl and Jonathan, very much. And by the way, I'm not saying that the outcome is going to be the same. I actually don't think we're going to win the title. I think at the start of the season, we all thought top 4 was our ambition. Let's
Exactly.
all,
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking at.
and let's go and achieve that. But I was listening to Kenny Cunningham today on the radio, and he's very good, you know. And sorry for mentioning another show there, Jonathan, but it was news talk. But he was basically saying that City generally burn teams off from that kind of Boxing Day period up to the time they have to worry about the Champions League again. They kind of put. He said actually, if Arsenal could stay in the race until the Champions League starts again, you'd never know what could happen, you know. But I think Man City are they're a couple of levels above. But what I will say is this: the buzz around the Arsenal at the moment, and you wouldn't be old enough, Jonathan, to remember this. You know, you'd know all about it, but to actually remember as it was happening. 86, 87, 87, 88, 88, 89, when George Graham took a young team and everybody was pulling. I remember going to games at that time. Everybody was pulling in the same direction. We all knew which way the team was going. We all knew which way the club was going. And it kind of feels like that now.
Exactly, yeah. It's a good point. I'm old enough to remember that, yeah. Totally agree with you.
You definitely wouldn't have noticed by looking at his lads. 8 and 9 can fine wine.
Oil of Ole, or Oil of Ole, as we call it now. Ole.
I don't want to come to Eamon. Your man of the match today, Eamon. Who's out for you?
I'm going to steal Carl's thunder because everybody said William Saliba, and I get that. Ben White, to me, was the man of the match. Okay, a couple of highlight moments. 2 diving headers in the box when it was a bit helter-skelter. A vital interception when he actually made about 15 meters to get across his own box. A lazy defender would have done that. And then the nutmeg.
Yeah.
I mean, not just a defender with a bit of. I love Ben White's little bit of spite. I've said that on the show a number of times. But this guy is good on the ball. I mean, he's very, very good. His pass placement all day was absolutely brilliant. So Ben White for me.
Carl?
100% Ben White, yeah. Eamon's already said it, you know. It's the only thing I can add to that is he's always there looking to receive a ball out of tight situations as well, you know. Brilliant player. Deserved it. He's probably deserved it more this season, Ben White, 100%.
John?
3 out of 3. Gotta give it. Can't argue on any of that. Really can't. He was superb today.
Yeah, I think I'll go with a little different myself.
Yeah, Aubameyang, you're going to get what? Aubameyang.
I was going. I think I have to say before.
Mark, when do you say that?
Eamon is consistently wants to be shown the door week on week. I don't know. He's the longest surviving pundit that's avoided to drop, in my opinion. I'm gonna go for Gabriel Jesus for running Thiago Raggett today, and Chalobah. He came deep and he had to, and he forced him into cleaning him out, you know, on numerous occasions. And that is, as Ozzy said, it's not the goal side of it; it's what he brings. You know, he's physical as well. Like, he's a bit about him as well. And I thought he cost Chelsea's back for all sorts, as well as Martinelli. I thought the two of them ran the fullbacks ragged. So yeah, look, a great day at the bridge for us, and top of the league. We move on to Saturday's fixture before the World Cup break against Wolves away. Sky Sports has this one as well. They appointed Julian Lopetegui, the ex-Sevilla manager, but I think Steve Davis, this is his last game in charge. Strange way they're struggling this season, because they have a pretty decent team there, you know, with Neves and Moutinho, Jimenez, and other few Portuguese players, Guedes as well. We won both games last season, home and away. I can see only a away victory in this one as well. But Saturday night games, you never know. I'll go to Carl. How do you see this game going, Carl?
Yeah, Wolves is always been a tricky one for us, isn't it? I look at their side and they've got some players there, but their form's been shocking. this season when they lost at home to Leicester 4-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they lost to Brighton as well. A Saturday night 7:45 match, a bit weird as well. That sort of fixture, isn't it? Look, I expect us to go there and win certainly after. It's our last game before the break. I know we've got Brighton sandwiched in between in the League Cup, but I'm expecting to see a lot of changes for that game. But it's the last game for the World Cup, so let's hope that the players, they can just pull through that last sort of Premier League game and show a bit of energy. I'm thinking an away win. My prediction was going to be 2-0, but a 2-0 away win. But yeah, like you say, they have got some dangerous players. They've got Traore, Neves, Mutiano. They're all good players and they cause us damage. I just hope we don't get a similar performance that we saw at Southampton away, and we don't get complacent that. But I don't think this team will. I think this team certainly today showed what they're about. Let's see what we can do. It's Wolves away, but I'm expecting an away win for that. Yeah,
I can see Saka getting on the score sheet. He got there a couple of years ago. I think we'll run them ragged on the wings. Yeah. You never know, though. Yeah.
They've always been tight games.
You never know as well. I think Ozzy with Steve Davis, his last game in charge, he might want one big performance. So you never know. Yeah, it's there's one player I like particularly. They have at the back that you signed from Burnley, Nathan Collins. Really good upcoming Irish defender as well. I like him. He'd settle in nicely with us as well. Eamon, how did you see the game going on Saturday?
Just on Steve Davis, I mean, what a great player he was himself. 6 World Championships. Missed out to Dennis Taylor in 85. Missed out to Joe Johnson in 86. And did a good job managing Wolves. The first thing I want to say about this game, and this is relevant, it's kind of going to feel like a Christmas party for the Dublin Arsenal Supporters Club. It is the bloody Christmas party, actually, when you think about it, because it's so weird with this, with the World Cup thing. And I think, unlike the Southampton game, which was sandwiched in a load of games, I think this is almost like a cup final for the Arsenal where they sign off, and that actually encourages me more. Because the Southampton game, remember, came in a kind of an accordion of games.
Yeah.
This is kind of, let's sign off before the World Cup. It's almost like a kind of an end of part 1 to the season, right? The thing about Wolves is, you're right, Wolves, and particularly that Armand Traore has always given us trouble, because they play nice, quick football, but, they've been robbed of players. And every time they try and build a team, they get one taken away, one taken away. But the decision to sell to loan Connor Cody to Everton,
very odd,
I cannot.
I can't fathom that one.
When we tried to predict the game last year, when we played, I said you've got to move Cody out of the middle because he's outstanding in there. You know,
he's a leader.
I just think that I hate predicting Arsenal wins because I always feel like a Jonah, like, the Pink Panther for the swarm of bees. But we should be capable of moving them about enough because they cough up chances, Wolves. They do, So I'd hope for a 2 or 3-1 win. They can score, Wolves, can I know they've only scored like I was watching Match of the Day this morning, and I think it was the first time they scored in the first half or something like that.
It's mad, isn't it?
Mad stuff,
And to be honest as well, before I come to you, John, on it, I'm kind of glad Diego Costa isn't playing because he would have probably given Gabriel or Saliba a red card the way he winds players up, But I don't think we're that stupid anymore.
What's wrong with him? Is he out with a sore throat or something? Is he?
No, he got a red card last week.
Okay.
So he's out till Christmas. So I'm kind of glad in a way he isn't playing against us. But I think we've enough quality there to see that one through, I think. But again, it's as Eamon says, it's very hard to predict these away fixtures. They're always tough. John, how do you see the game going on Saturday?
We've had our reset. The Forest game today, the attitude today was impeccable. So I think if we turn up with the right attitude, we win. But as Eamon said, it's the last game before the competition stops for a Winter World Cup. God forgive us. And Wolves will be for it. They won't. I mean, they won't want to end, with another home defeat and have to wait 6 or 7 weeks before they can try and get back on track again. And as you say, it's our last chance to impress the new coach as he's watching in the stands. So they'll be up for it, and the fans will be up for it. So you need to have your A game on, game face on, and put the performance in. And I genuinely believe if we turn up, we win. It's simple as that. The right attitude. And I think we've had our reset. We've had our kick in the arse. We've had, the manager's got them by the scruff of the neck and said, that's not going to get us to where we want to go. Get the lead out, or I'll find someone else. And I think they've got that reset. So,
yeah,
bring it on. Win next Saturday, top of the league going into the Christmas break. And we can, next time we do a podcast, we can just stand up and give a round of applause to a really good first half of the season.
Yeah, I hope we don't put the mockers on and Wolves come out and fucking batters next Saturday. But
you see, Jonathan, you're beginning to mature. You're beginning to grow up and get the grim spectre feelings that we have. Every silver lining has a cloud when you follow the Arsenal,
this season it's just going too well. I'm getting itchy feet every game now. I cringe when I watch this now.
You're getting fairly excited today on the tread, that's for sure,
I know, yeah. No, it was like the way, the way we controlled that game today, as I said at the start, it was like we were the home team. Even Martin Keown said it in the analysis after. He says that was the best away performance in a long time he's seen it. And you can even see with Keown, there's a belief beginning even with Rio Ferdinand and Scott Parker. The others are starting to watch us now and starting to see that, hang on, Arsenal are coming back. We're starting
a bit of begrudging respect.
Yeah.
When if they don't like it, they don't want to admit it. The truth's there for everyone.
Let's retain our humility and balance and equilibrium here, guys. Let's not leave ourselves lead with our tune.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
but we are on the way back. We are on the way back.
They're giving us any credit for. Let's be honest.
We're title contenders or pretenders, one or the other, but at least we're up there anyway. It's the back-to-back games against City, lads. In the new year will be, that will be the ones that will probably decide our fate. But yeah, we're probably a season or two maybe too early for talking about the title. Yeah. Come to our goal of the month for October, lads. I've gone for Thomas Partey screamer against Spurs in October. I'll go to Ozzy there. What was your goal of the month?
I'm nodding away because that Thomas Partey goal, it just meant the world. Yeah, and then just the noise that made in the Emirates. Yeah, what a hit. What a time to score it. Perfect. Yeah, that's my goal of the month.
Eamon, goal of the month for October?
Bukayo Saka against Leeds away, because we didn't play that day and because he was at such a mad angle off his right foot. Nobody expected him to do what he did, and he just hit a sledgehammer up into the roof of the net. That's my goal of the month.
John, goal of the month for October?
They're both really good choices, but I'm going to go for Martinelli against Forest. A fantastic header, and it was right in front of me, and it was my first visit to the Emirates this season, so that's the way.
Good on you. Nice.
And John, the speed at which he moved into that ball was incredible. Yeah.
Now, there was, I tell you, November will be tough now, goal of the month, with a whole of 3 games. So we've got 2 more games for us to get goal of the month. John, to bring up briefly, lads, I know Martin's going to discuss this on the show on Tuesday. We got 1-0 last Thursday against Zurich, Tierney with a screamer. Top of the group means we're in the last 16. I'll go to Eamon first. You must be really happy. You were saying that was a big, must-win game, a big game, and it was in the end, really, wasn't it? Zurich did come out and didn't show any fear.
I'll go back to the recording of the show last week when I said
I prefer not.
Hold on. What I said, and I don't listen back to them to get this on you, right? I said,
he loves all this.
I said Zurich were no worse than Nottingham Forest, and what I said was at 1-0 at half time against Nottingham Forest, we were still a bit worried, and we didn't. We did enough to maybe get a 2-0 lead, but we just didn't get it. And then you could see the team got tired. and the team had Chelsea in mind, because half the team that played on the other night were playing today.
Yeah.
And you could just see the Zurich fans, probably, Ozzy was referencing the I can't remember which team it was, the noise of the fans, and Zurich just got up for it in the last 15 minutes. And we were worried. It was just one of those games where get the points, put them in the bag, go home, job done, see you in March. Full stop.
You were at the game, Eamon, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
What was it like seeing Tierney strike? Was it nice? Was it as good as it was on TV? Some hit.
Well, you see, it was one of these weird ones in real time, because we were all convinced that the Earl was so convinced that it was a handball from his shot that we were all kind of looking at the penalty spot. And the next thing, you see this howitzer goes into the corner, you know. It was a bit like that, you know. But yeah, it was a great goal, great strike from a great player, by the way. His attitude, Kieran Tierney's attitude is first class, you know. Yeah,
yes, he's a top class pro, isn't he? John, you say you're happy enough to bypass
the Europa League group stage is a pain in the arse. Let's be bloody honest.
Yeah.
The mission at the start of it, finish top. Don't lose too many players to injury. Don't lose players to suspension. Let's get through it. And as you say, you miss two games. Okay, you don't have to go through that round of 32. So, mission accomplished. Roll on March. Now we can concentrate on what's really important.
Is it March that we head back in, lads?
Yeah. Play again in Europe till March.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's around Paddy's week. We probably played the second leg. Yeah.
You know, that was just about get the job done. We've done the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ozzy, what did you make of it on Thursday?
Can't really add much for it. Job done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Job done. We got what we needed to do. Finished top. I'm glad we're not in the playoffs, because it's going to be quite interesting teams in that. United are going to be in it for starters. I think job done. Yeah, move on.
Yeah, the draw's tomorrow morning, I think, as well, isn't it, for the Europa League as well. Martin will be covering he will be reviewing that game with Ian and Brendan on Tuesday, and also be previewing the Brighton. I think it's the third round we're in of the English League Cup as well.
Yeah.
So that's Beyond the Last Man on Tuesday. But of course, our show is better. He's doing quite well with 60 views on his show and 60 views on ours. So good head-to-head going on, lads.
I feel a P45 coming on. I'm just not sure who it's for. P45, Carl in Ireland, is when you're losing your job, you know.
I think Eamon sticks out a mile at the moment. He's actually well behaved this week, so it's not too bad.
Well, I've no problem defecting to the other show and then having the same positive effect that I had on this one, you know.
I think he's talked his way into the sack already.
Yeah, would you like to mention? A great show with great people, full of moral courage and moral fibre.
Is there anything you'd like to mention, lads, about the supporters club or anything regarding anything, or
don't come to us for tickets?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. We are really, really, really doing our best. Our allocations have been cut now, because supporters club tickets demands have gone through the roof. So we're only getting kind of 75% of what we order. So 5%. I said this on the show last week.
Yeah.
Look, if you want a ticket off the supporters club, come and ask us for a ticket. You know, don't come and say, "Can I have 4 for this game and 3 for that?" It's just not going to work. You know.
John, briefly, you were at the game in the River Bar. What was the atmosphere like today? Was it busy?
It was good. About 50 people in for the 12 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What time did you start serving, John?
Sorry?
What time did you start serving?
12 o'clock. We would actually start serving at 11:30. I was in there at 11:30 with a point in my hand. So
big up to the River Bar. So
and the owner himself was there, so we had a little chat with Michael. So good crowd in, good atmosphere, good win. Everyone happy at the end. You'll see a few videos on the Supporters Club Facebook page.
Is Sergeant Brown going to the Maldives yet?
And Sergeant Brown's heading off with his honeymoon. So we'll have I wish him the very best, and I hope he enjoys himself.
Yeah.
Come on, the Arsenal. Ozzy, where did you watch the match today? Was it at home or in the?
I was at home today.
Yeah,
I watched it at home today. Yeah, no,
Okay.
A chilled one. But I'll tell you what, a massive shout out to all the fans at Stamford Bridge, because that's all you could hear on the TV. You could hear the Arsenal fans. Some of those tickets were going today for £500, which is shocking.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
But now it's still going on, and to be honest, that's being sold by supporters of
It's
Arsenal.
scandalous, really, isn't it?
Not touts, because they won't have the credits to get them. So, but yeah, no, fair play to everyone that went there and sang the right out. And I hope they do the same at Wolves come next Saturday.
Yeah. I have to say, the amount of young fans there today. Yeah. There's a great young generation growing up, isn't there? From what we can see in the stands, jeez, there's really, really young. Yeah. And long may it continue. Yeah, as I said, that wraps up our show for this week. Check out Beyond the Last Man on Tuesday with Martin and the lads. This show will be up later on tonight or tomorrow when Martin gets a chance. I'd like to thank John, Ozzy, and Eamon as always. Thanks for your comments this week. We'll be back next Tuesday in our usual slot, or maybe even Sunday to see how things go. But until then, thanks for listening. Catch us on Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel, and we'll see you all again next week. Thanks, lads.
Go on the Arsenal.
Good luck.
Cheers.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0.